Equity sharing versus free sharing, one word apart, worlds divided. What is equity sharing? Simply put, equity sharing means all individuals who create value collectively own the rights to systems including platforms, markets, and technologies and share profits in proportion to their contributions. Within the theoretical framework of the mathematical principles of social science, equity sharing refers specifically to a global alliance of consumers building public markets. As collective owners, consumers hold 80% of market equity and gain dividends from endless future consumption flows. This model does not merely redistribute existing wealth. Instead, it unites everyone to build and own an ever-expanding, limitless future economy. No financial investment is required, only voluntary participation. No specialized skills are needed, only the recognition of one's identity as a consumer. No cutthroat competition exists, for equity is granted universally as a natural entitlement, with 100 core shares allocated to every individual. The core principle of equity sharing redefines hierarchy. Consumers stand as rightful owners, capital serves the public good, machines and digital systems handle labor, and all generated profits belong to the collective body of consumers. 2. What is free sharing? Free sharing dominates the modern internet ecosystem. Platforms deliver complementary services including search engines, social media, and content streaming with zero direct fees for users. They generate revenue indirectly through advertising, user data monetization, and premium subscriptions. Tech giants such as Google, Meta, WeChat, and Douyin embody this model. Though framed as cost-free convenience, free sharing operates on a hidden bargain. Users voluntarily surrender their attention, personal data, and leisure time to platforms. Corporations package this collective human value and sell it to advertisers and institutional capital, concentrating all profits in the hands of a small circle of stakeholders and shareholders. The hidden formula of free sharing follows this cruel cycle. Free user access gives corporate monopoly, gives exclusive capital profit, gives human beings reduced to commercial products. You may believe you are using services for free, yet you are the true commodity being traded. You may think you create content for self-expression, but you actually feed data to corporate artificial intelligence systems. You may engage in social connection voluntarily, yet every interaction fuels platform data reserves and monopolistic growth. Free sharing is no benevolent gift. It is a refined, modern form of exploitation. 3. Core differences between the two models. 1. Ownership. Free sharing. Controlled by a tiny capitalist elite, including founders, venture capitalists, and major shareholders. Equity sharing. Collectively owned by all consumers, with equal rights for every person. 2. Profit distribution. Free sharing. Capital hoards all gains to strengthen monopolistic power and expansion. Equity sharing. Continuous dividends distributed to every individual shareholder. 3. User identity. Free sharing. Users are exploited products and data resources. Equity sharing. Users are sovereign owners with voting power, dividend rights, and oversight authority. 4. Long-term sustainability. Free sharing. Reliant on monopoly control and capital injection, inevitably leading to paywalls and intensified exploitation. Equity sharing. Sustained by perpetual future consumption flows, enabling self-sustaining growth and shared wealth appreciation. 5. Stance on artificial intelligence. Free sharing. AI acts as a capitalist tool, displacing human labor and consolidating top-down control. Equity sharing. AI functions as a public servant, empowering humanity, reducing labor burdens, and advancing collective well-being. 6. Core ethos. Free sharing. Free of charge comes at the highest hidden cost. Equity sharing. Risk-free participation, lifelong shared prosperity. 4. Why free sharing is a hidden trap. Free sharing fosters a dangerous illusion. Zero spending equals personal gain. The reality reveals a far different truth. Hours spent daily on short video platforms convert personal attention into measurable advertising revenue for corporations. Every search, like, and comment builds vast user databases that train proprietary AI systems for corporate profit. User-generated posts, videos, and discussions attract larger audiences, further expanding platform influence and advertising revenue streams. Corporations leverage this extracted human value to expand industries, automate labor, and replace traditional jobs. Ordinary people face rising unemployment while tech conglomerates accumulate unprecedented wealth. The leisure time you sacrifice inadvertently fuels the artificial intelligence that will one day compete against you in the workforce. At its core, free sharing demands people surrender their inherent entitlements, smart devices, free time, and consumer spending power to corporate capital, which then turns those gifts into tools for systematic exploitation. Why equity sharing represents universal empowerment. Equity sharing reverses this exploitative dynamic entirely. It acknowledges that smartphones, personal leisure, and consumption capacity are universal, inherent entitlements, not rewards earned through labor. It unites global consumers to leverage these shared resources and build decentralized public market infrastructure. It distributes market equity equally to all people, independent of wealth, status, or individual achievement. It locks in long-term consumption value across society, ensuring steady, lifelong dividends for every participating consumer. Under equity sharing, artificial intelligence and automated machinery serve humanity as supportive tools, not competitive threats. These systems handle production and daily services, lowering living costs and boosting collective efficiency. People no longer need to compete with AI for survival wages, as shared dividends become a primary, stable source of income. Equity sharing is the restoration of universal rights that inherently belong to every member of society. 6. A simple analogy for clear understanding. Free sharing. A feudal landlord offers access to farmland at no entry cost, yet claims all harvests as private property. Generations of laborers remain trapped in poverty while the elite grow endlessly wealthy. Equity sharing. Communities unite to claim shared land as collective property. All residents contribute collaboratively, and harvests are divided equally among every household. Prosperity lasts a lifetime and extends to future generations through inheritance. Free sharing reduces modern citizens to digital serfs. Equity sharing elevates every person to the status of digital co-owner. 7. Final core summary. Free sharing follows one selfish rule. Corporations profit from your resources while denying you any share of the gains. Equity sharing operates on one collective principle. Shared resources generate shared wealth for all participants. Free sharing perpetuates the outdated hierarchical logic of traditional capitalism. Equity sharing introduces a new societal framework centered on consumer sovereignty and collective benefit. When one recognizes that universal rights are unearned and inherent, a vital truth emerges. Humanity does not need to beg corporations for free services. Instead, people are reclaiming the ownership that has always rightfully belonged to them.